All right, so game one just ended, and let's see. Well, obviously, Suns won. Let's see. Chris Paul, Devin Booker, they both just went off. If this keeps up, it might end in less than 6 because here's the thing. Okay. They went to the Giannis at center lineup at the end. Suns were up huge. And then the Bucks, made a big run to cut it to 7, but they couldn't close the gap. However, this is Budenholzer. He's not going to stick with this, especially with Giannis's injuries. Budenholzer's not going to stick with this. He's not. He may go to it a little more, but maybe by game 4 it'll get a little more extended run. Maybe. I highly doubt it. But anyway, yeah. What happened overall? Early in the game, Brook Lopez was, he was running to the rim, sealing in transition, got a couple buckets that way. That was pretty good. And then from there on, it went to the usual Brook Lopez stuff. They tried the switching, that didn't work. At some point, they went back to their good old drop coverage. And yeah, that didn't work either. One thing that also stood out to me was in the PJ Tucker minutes, he was getting buried on screens. Obviously with Ayton, but even with some of the other Suns players, they just set a screen and he'd be like a statue, But anyway, let's see, what else from the Suns role players? It seemed like, other than Jay Crowder was the one role player that struggled, and everyone else was hitting their shots. Cam Johnson hitting his shots. Actually, it was Mikal Bridges hitting his shots. He might have hit a couple, but I wouldn't say he was hitting his shots like that. But Cameron Payne, he had 3 or 4 3-pointers go down. Let's see, who else tried some? Let's see, there was Payne, there was Johnson, probably Bridges. I think that was the only one. Now, the interesting thing to see going forward is Ayton's going to have to play big minutes after the injury to Saric. And, it's unfortunate because Saric was playing good whenever he was in. He really was. And then, boom, gets hurt. Now, the important thing for the Bucks, the positive takeaway is, Giannis, it didn't look like the injury was affecting him that much, which, much to my surprise, let's hope that it stays that way, and let's hope that, there isn't a re-aggravation or something. Middleton played well, but outside of that, Connaughton hit a couple shots and played pretty okay. Lopez started well and then just fell off a cliff. Other than that, no one on the Bucks was really playing well. Drew struggled. PJ Tucker didn't really get anything going. Portis didn't. Forbes came in at the end and hit a shot or two, but it's Bryn Forbes. He didn't play big minutes, and yeah. Overall, though, man, the free throw disparity. The Suns were clearly gonna get more free throws, but the amount more was really? And also, they didn't miss a free throw until the end of the game. they can't rely on that to happen again now. Now, even if they would have missed a few, that wouldn't have made much of a difference because of, well, how many they shot. Although, again, we'll see what they do going forward. If the Bucks keep this up, the Suns may be able to get one or even two more games shooting this many free throws. But if Bud actually makes adjustments like he did against the Hawks, then maybe okay, we won't see the Suns shooting this many free throws again. Yeah. Also, also with the closeout thing with Lopez getting the flagrant on that closeout on Chris Paul. I get why the rule's the rule, but there is a clear difference between that Lopez closeout and the Zaza closeout. With Lopez, that was literally just, it was a 7-footer being clumsy. He just, kind of stuck out his foot to, stop himself on the closeout, and it just got under Chris Paul's landing space. The Zaza play, I got to see the replay of that again and got reminded of why everyone was freaking out so much when it happened, because not only did Zaza do the closeout, but he did this extra shuffle step that got under Kawhi's landing space. And the thing with that was, without the shuffle step, it would have been a relatively good closeout. But then he had to be all extra with that shuffle step. But anyway, ran aside. Yeah. Even outside of the free throws, for most of the game, the Suns were just outplaying the Bucks. Until we got the Giannis at center minutes, which I already mentioned. They go on a big run, they hit some shots. Chris Middleton was doing his thing, but other than that, it was basically all Phoenix. But yeah, that's game 1. And I guess we'll see how game 2 goes. Peace.